right, so today we are recapping a really cool high profit flip that we found while traveling with our kids last week.
Yeah, so we were camping last week with our kids. We went to South Florida on the West Coast. Well, not really South, I guess. Yeah, Venice area to the beach. And then we ended up back at Disney on one of our favorite campgrounds. So we were there we kind of split up a spring break and went camping with the kids. But Rob did what he always does on vacation. And we actually bought our toy hauler camper for this reason, so that we could pick up stuff while we're going camping with the kids. So we bought it last year so that we can go and grab some stuff while we're there and more than pay for the trip.
Absolutely. So we did find a couple things while we were down there on vacation, but I was only able to negotiate and pick up one. The other one, with the time frame that we were down, I think we were down there for like 6 days, five days.
4 nights the first one, 5 nights the second.
So yeah, 4 nights, 5 days down there. I could only get the one arranged and picked up. And what it was a deep fryer. We found a commercial deep fryer, found a really good deal on it. They were asking $300. I offered them $250 for it before I got there. When I got there, it was definitely kind of crazy. And the center, and I'll give you my whole reasoning on this whole thing, but the center, so it was a 3-bay deep fryer.
But before you dive into
sorry, go ahead.
That, okay, so there's a couple lessons and we love to share them with you as we're going through them. So we get there, we arrive at this house, and there is stuff like this guy obviously does this, like he's a scrapper, he has stuff everywhere. So we get there, and then there's this fryer in the middle of the yard right there, and it was a lot dirtier than you expected.
Yeah, a lot of grease.
A lot of grease. So he comes up to it. The guy wasn't there yet, and we looked at it. We're like, you're kind of like, do I take this on? So
yeah. So that is where we were when we got up to it. Now I had a couple options. I hate negotiating before I get there. So they're asking $300 for it.
You need double negotiating.
Yes, so I negotiate before I get there, but when I get there, I don't typically negotiate again because I already got them to a good deal.
Feel like it's kind of rude.
It is. And so in this case, I'm looking at it, a lot more work, a lot of grease, plus I plug it in and the middle fryer does not power on. The 2 outside ones do. They look like they're working fine, but the middle fryer does not. So right off the bat, there's room for negotiation because of it not working like the seller said that it did work. So right off the bat, we have room for negotiation. I didn't know if I was going to do it or if I was going to walk away because it is a lot of grease. I'm hoping, and I haven't done it yet, I'm hoping that I can get a chemical to spray the whole thing down and get rid of all the grease. But so the seller was not there, but I think his wife or his girlfriend was there. She said, make me an offer. So we made her an offer. I said, listen, to me, $100. I already had them at $250. I said $100, it's going to need a lot of work. The center fryer does not work. It's not coming on. So it's a little less than what I expected. And she goes, take it. So we paid them $100. We got it loaded up in the back of the truck. Thank goodness they had it up in the air.
So
because
it wasn't actually hard to load in.
No, it's heavy, but it's not heavy where you couldn't pick it up. But it was up in the air. So we had to pick it up about 2 inches and back the truck up, slide it into the back of the truck, and that's how we got it. So all that being said is we got a good deal. I don't like to double negotiate. I like to negotiate before I get there. But in some cases, if it's not what you expect it is, make sure that you're ready to either turn around and walk away, or if there is room for negotiation, like this seller said, what will you give me for it? She didn't want us to leave and not take it, so she was willing to negotiate, and that's where we came down. And I knew I could spend that extra $150 on degreasing it or paying somebody to degrease it and get it cleaned up. So I knew I had a little bit more room inside of it to be able to do that.
And that's kind of where you're at now in the business. And like you're trying to hire more of those things out, so you're not, and there's enough room for profit so that you can do it. So you're not the one. That kind of went through your mind as we were thinking, do we walk away or do we pick this up and take it home? I mean, it will sell for $7,000 to $10,000, right?
Yeah.
And even though you said the center bay is not working, somebody can fix that. Or even if you had to sell it for parts, what do you think it would go for parts?
At least with the 2 outsides working, I'd say it shouldn't have any problem selling for $5,000 once it's cleaned up. But I'll give you my also thought process on the center one not working. The 2 outside ones are working. So I can actually move a control board. I can move this, I can move that to the center one and see what the problem is because I have 2 outside ones that are working. So I can do that, or I can pay somebody to do that as well to figure out what piece is bad. If it's the control board, I can take one off the other one, switch it over to the middle, and then I know, is it going to be worth me to spend, if it's another $200 on a control board to get it up and working, to make an extra $3,000 to $5,000 on the deal, then yes, it totally is worth that extra $200 investment or whatever the control board is. I just have to weigh out the options with it. But that was my thought process. And you can't do this all the time if you come to something that's not working. But in this case, 2 outside ones did, the center one didn't. I can easily figure out what the problem is just by troubleshooting, plugging in play a couple of different scenarios with the other ones that are working to get the middle one working, and then know what I have to order.
Yeah. So you almost walked away, but you didn't. You're going to take on the project.
And I'm glad I didn't walk away.
Yeah. Are you?
I am, because
it is a project. So you just have to hire out the cleaning part and do that.
It is.
Fix the middle bay, and then you should be good.
But $100 is out of pocket. Now I might spend a little bit more if I have to get the control panel, whatever it is. Say I spend another $300 on it. So I got $400 all into it. $400 investment to make 7, and there were comps on eBay for I think 9,000.
Yeah.
$7,000 to $10,000 on this, depending on how much I can clean it up and how well I can position it and take great pictures and videos of it. $7,000 to $10,000 off of a $400 investment. That's killer. That's amazing. That is what we look for. That's really, really what I try and hone in on, these high profit flips. And this is all the way out, how I weighed everything out in my head while we were actually negotiating this, picking this up. So hopefully it will help you while you're out there looking for items. Weigh it out the same way. Should I walk away from this? Should I keep it? I mean, should I get it? Should I try and get somebody to fix it? You have a lot of different scenarios and a lot of different things that you can weigh out when you're actually going out to source something or to buy something.
And I know we've mentioned this on the podcast before, but if anybody new is tuning in, we did have a flip a little while ago that we should have walked away from. What was that? That was the, what's it called? Pinball? No, bowling machine.
Yeah.
That we should have walked away from.
Bowling arcade.
Bowling arcade, because you couldn't get it fixed. And so it ended up only selling for $500, right? 500?
500. We only paid.
We only paid, what did we pay for it?
I think it was 100 something.
Yeah, it was 100. But it sold for $575, and you were hoping to get at least $2,000 for it. And so after shipping and everything, I think we lost $10 after the whole thing. So it wasn't like a huge loss, but your time. So it wasn't worth it. We should have walked away because it was in worse condition than you thought. Yeah. And it didn't power on and all these things. But you love those games.
But I'm a sucker for cool arcade. Yeah, cool arcade, bar games, stuff like that. I love that kind of stuff. So, and it wasn't a huge investment, $100. But yes, hindsight, 2020, we should have walked away from it because it was. We actually brought it back. It was on a road trip. We brought it back. It took some time, took some storage out of our warehouse. And yeah, that's one of those things. So learn from us. Absolutely. If you need to walk away from it, but also weigh out everything that you're dealing with on this, the upswing of this. Even if I only paid $100 for it, I cleaned it up and I sold it with the 2 outsides ones working and the center one not, I still think I could get around $5,000 for it. So $100 to $5,000. Yes, I think that's a great upswing for anybody to invest $100 to make $5,000 on it. Yes. So
I'm thinking like what people would be thinking of, okay, that seems like a lot of work. But at the same time, if you weigh in, like you do this because it's less time. It takes less time overall for that big chunk of a payout. Yeah. So that's kind of why we've done this business model. So anyways, I just was thinking
even if we broke it down to, hey, it took us, I think it was actually a 40-minute drive from where we were. It took us
2 hours,
so
probably.
Call it 2 hours. We drove down, we picked it up. We got 2 hours into it. Say it's going to take me, I mean, this one's has a lot of grease. If I do all this myself, I would venture to say 5 hours of cleaning if I do it myself or if I pay somebody anything into that. So call it 7 hours into it, and then shipping it out. It's going to take me another this is very easy to ship. Throw it on a pallet, throw straps on it, ready to go. Not that difficult. Maybe another hour. Let's call it
fixing the bay or fixing.
Oh yeah, doing the troubleshooting on that if I do that as well. Let's call it a total of 12 hours into it. And that's me troubleshooting. That's me doing everything. 12 hours of time invested into this whole flip. And even call it on the lower end. Maybe I put another $400 into it. Maybe I sell it on the lower end for $7,000. So let's call it $500 in. Easy numbers, $7,000 sell it for, $6,500 minus eBay fees. Let's call it even $5,500. So I'm just giving you rough numbers, but $5,500 for 12 hours of your time if you're listening to this and you're making more than $5,500 for a 12-hour investment, hey, props to you. That's awesome. This is what I love to do. I enjoy every part of this, hunting, getting it, cleaning it up. I just enjoy it. So it's really, really fun.
How much was the
all in
5,000?
Say 5,500. And that's after eBay fees, after shipping. So that's $1,000.
$450 for
$450 an hour.
Yeah.
So still almost $500 an hour.
Even if you doubled that time, it's still a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it took you 24 hours of actual labor.
Exactly. But it's only one item. It's one item that you're working on.
You're also to the point that you are trying to hire out some of these tasks. So we're trying to build up. For this whole time, you've basically been a one-man show. You've had some people come and help you, one-off little tasks like cleaning and stuff. And you're looking to hire somebody that's more consistent in that so that you're not doing that. because that's where we are right now in the business. So, but for this whole time it's just been you,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
So you haven't wanted to grow it to something where you have a lot of employees,
No.
but to now have like one person that you can count on to help you would be good for our business.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's what we're working on now.
Hopefully this helps you out. Hopefully if you're dabbling in this or you're already flipping, you can see the potential of going high profit flipping.
And we're not saying start out with something this big. We definitely did not start out with something this big, but this is where we're at now. So we're trying to get some more of those bigger flips without getting into like flipping houses, because you used to do that and you're like, that is
a lot
so
of
much red tape.
It is.
And by the end of the day, your profit margins are almost the same as a big old stove. So
yeah, exactly.
sometimes.
Exactly. So one other thing that you might have a question about this is, hey, do I need a forklift to be able to do this? Because it's going to get shipped on a pallet. And the cool thing is you don't need a forklift. Even doing this one, we used a forklift because I put it in the back of my truck. But normally I would have taken my little 4x8 trailer if I was at home. I would have taken the 4x8 trailer and I would have rolled it up on the trailer because it's on wheels. It will absolutely roll it up onto the trailer, and then I would roll it down, take pictures of it inside the garage. Same thing. When I'm ready to go, I would roll it up into the trailer onto a pallet or roll it into the garage onto a pallet and be able to move it with a dolly. So there are ways to do this without having crazy equipment. This one absolutely could be done without having a forklift.
So much with that little trailer, and it's nice because it's low to the ground, so it just has a little ramp, or it just goes. No, you just goes.
It tilts.
It tilts, so you just go up on the ramp. And that trailer you've had, we talked about that the other day. You've had that since you were 16.
16. So it's almost 30 years I've had that. Woo! And it's made me a lot of money. So that's just, but I know a lot of people have questions about that. Can I do this without having crazy forklifts and huge trailers and all that kind of stuff? And no, you don't need that stuff. You can start wherever you're at. You can rent a trailer to get something like this. You can roll it up on it, so you can totally be able to do this wherever you're at.
Yep. So that was our find for the vacation this week, or last week, and we're excited to get it listed and get some stuff sold. So
absolutely.
And if you want to learn more about our higher value, lower volume business model, you can check out our workshop. We'll link it in the show notes below. And thanks for listening, guys.
You're awesome. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you on the next episode.